Welcome to Four Wide and Wine. Today we have Tanya Conley. She is the mom of Dylan and Riley Conley for Conley Racing. Let's take a listen. Dylan and Riley are opening the ceremonies today at Fremont Speedway with the national anthem. Do you load these up too by yourself? Yeah?
Yeah. And our trailer's not tall enough to fit with the wings, so. All right, fire up.
Yeah. Kids keep you busy.
Yes. 100 miles an hour all the time.
So Dylan is how old?
So Dylan just turned 9 in March. Riley is 11. Riley started racing right after his 5th birthday in go-karts here in Fremont. We traveled, then got into the micros. So he raced junior sprints for a year and a half and then moved up to 600 so his brother could move into juniors.
Cool.
Because we were driving 4 hours to race in Indiana.
Wow.
And then beating it back to hit Sandusky to race on Sundays. And we're not young parents, so it was hard on us. So the big thing is keeping them organized. I think that's like
For sure.
So it's fun, and we like to travel.
Yeah.
We had a sailboat before this. Like that was going to be our gig. Like we were going to sail through the locks and head south.
Yeah.
And sail. And we took Riley out to the track, the little go-kart track, and he loved it. And put on a sailboat.
Oh, well. I mean, in my opinion, you put your money in a better place.
Yeah. So I get a lot of questions, especially when we started, because Riley was just a little peanut. I mean, he was 5 when we started. Like some other parents, like, "Are you nervous? Are you nervous?" But my daughter barrel raced.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was her and I's thing, and that's 1,200 pounds on an animal with the mind of its own.
Yeah.
So this is much safer in my eyes. And they don't colic and have gut bills.
That's true. They do have bills, but not those kind of bills.
I don't deal with frozen water buckets, hay prices. They can sit in the shop over the winter. I don't feel guilty. So yeah. The biggest thing I think is balance. Social media sucks. When you just get everybody's highlight reel.
Yeah.
Like you don't see the day-to-day struggles, and I don't think people talk about that.
Right.
I know last year, like there was some, I don't know the name of the drivers, but I mean it was Sports Heads. I think it was the Outlaw driver. Like took a break from mental health. Like and nobody talks about it.
Just it was Jacob Allen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So imagine, so you've got that kind of stress as an adult, and people are putting it on their kids at such a young age. So we really try to make it fun. We don't chase points. We did that one year with the juniors.
And it was just too stressful.
It was too much. It takes the fun out of it, and I don't want to burn the kids out. I love their passion and desire for the sport.
Yeah.
But if they don't grow up to be race car drivers, I would honestly probably be happy about that. Just because of the lifestyle could be really strenuous on their mental health, the marriage, family life, all that, besides the finances. But the way I look at it is I use it as a tool because of the life skills that racing allows us to teach the kids.
Amen.
Like we take them out to PRI.
Yeah.
That way they can do that. We do events like this so they can realize that nothing is for free. A lot of people think sponsorship should just be a handout and then you go on, and we're trying to teach them that that's not the case.
Exactly.
We have a lot of local support, but we race 4 hours away. So what I'm really trying to instill in them is we race 4 hours away, but this is our hometown and have a lot of supporters here. So let's show them some love here.
Absolutely.
So that's a big thing that we try. And like we spoke earlier, like they're really active at church, and you know that's a big balance and a big thing for us too. So I'm just trying to raise good contributors to the world and society versus just being out there and
Yeah. I mean, it's
doing
good for
that.
them to be out here on a racetrack instead of at home on video games
Yes.
all the time too. So
as mom's job, it's always, you know, because they do run on methanol.
yes.
So fire suits, everything that these big cars have and the drivers, we do just on a smaller scale. And sadly, they outgrow them a lot faster than what the adults do. So we're constantly replacing stuff. So, but like
because they grow out of it.
Yeah, we run the hybrids, everything. So that's always part of my job, is to make sure that everything is there. I do all of our graphics, self-taught in Illustrator. So as we've never had anybody do their graphics, so it's been really fun. I drew out the number 5 on a piece of paper, cut it out, transpose it, cut it, and now I'm like legit graphics.
Nice.
This year was the first year that I actually, my design in Illustrator, the car turned out like it was supposed to, because everything was sized proportionally and I didn't have to change everything. So I think like 6 years in the making, I can finally say that we did that.
So the design on the car is yours.
Yes.
That's
yes, on both
awesome.
cars, yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, so Dylan Scheibel, that works for Swindells, he did sending me like the template, but everything. And the big one didn't want exactly what the little one has, so that's why he's
A little
silver
different.
and
Yeah.
the little one's gold.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much that. I do our decals, like for the little stickers with their numbers that you'll see. I learned how to do that kind of stuff. We really try to do as much in-house. So we learn as we go.
Yeah.
I do our social media, like I said, that's hard because they're still kids. Like, they'll wrench and they'll tear a motor apart and everything, but then when it comes to rebuilding it and everything, my 11-year-old can talk about top dead center, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and it just blows my mind. But we're also to the point that he knows more than mom. So that's always the constant battle with kid racers.
Well, they know that regardless.
Right.
Yeah. They know more.
All of our marketing stuff. So because we have this today, I had our sponsors. We went around and had them donate some things for a fun raffle bucket.
And that's what you're doing here today.
That's what we're doing
Yes.
here today. Yes. So just teaching the boys to represent their sponsors. Public speaking skills, I'm really push them on. I don't want them to ever be shy. They sing in church choir, youth choir at school, they cantor, so I don't think they're shy now.
I mean, they're not like Ricky Bobby where they like put their hands up and like, I don't know what to do. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's all because of you.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I will take credit for that.
Yes, you should.
Yes. Yeah, I let Dad take credit for the engine and that kind of stuff, but I will take credit. Dad's kind of interested in it too. So I push everybody to pull them out of the show.
That's awesome. So since we're walking up, can you tell me what we were just talking about with Brexton and Owen?
Yes. So in our classes that the boys run, the micro class and the junior, the NASCAR kids run it.
Yeah.
So we are racing against a lot of money and a lot of skill because they will rent tracks. They have full-time paid crew chiefs. And even the kids that aren't quite at that caliber, we also have kids that just show up and drive.
Yes.
There are so many renter rides for kids that, I mean, it's a business.
Right.
And because parents don't have the skill set themselves, so what they're doing is just paying. So these kids aren't learning if something feels wrong,
right,
if the motor's not sounding right, how to do the maintenance and that kind of stuff. And that's something that we are really instilling in them. But so there was 147 entries a couple weeks ago at our home track, just a regular race, not a big money show. And Riley had to run the B and made it to the A.
Nice.
And Rexton was there for that one. A lot of kids that run the shootout come to US 24, our home track, and do that. So it's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they all have the same end goal, you know.
Yeah.
So, which is the big cars. So
yeah.
So we just hope to, what we can't compete with them with money, we're gonna compete with them with having more knowledge.
Right.
So
yeah.
that's our goal.
Nice.
At least that's our philosophy.
Yes.
It sounds good right now.
I was going to ask if you wanted me to catch this or
No,
okay.
That's right. So I was kind of in trouble, horrible body last year. I was 71 pounds heavier, just could not function. I was living on Pepsi.
Wow.
Fuel, and just that's got me through the day. And my birthday, beginning of September, I was laying on the couch and was in tears because I seriously thought I had fibromyalgia or I broke my back. So it was just, my insides just hurt so bad. So I went to Cleveland Clinic and they did some lab work and found out that my vitamin D was extremely low. And my calcium was high. Well, what they did was Cleveland Clinic thought that if I took a high dose of vitamin D, it would bring that up, lower my calcium. And long story short, I Googled, Dr. Google, found a specialist in Tampa, Florida. So in November, I sent them all my lab work and everything. They said they'd like to see me. My mom and I flew down there for a long weekend.
Holy crap.
Found out I had a tumor on the backside of my thyroid.
For real?
Yes. Went back down in December and had it removed.
Didn't even,
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like anything. May I?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, I couldn't even see it until you said something like.
So, I immediately, within 2 weeks, my bones stopped hurting, like my leg just, and so I'm just feeling better, and now I can get down and change the sprockets on cars and do all that kind of stuff.
You got your life back.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So
Thank God for that.
Yes, I feel so much better. So
Yeah.
the big thing about
Awesome.
that is be your own advocate.
Yes.
That is
I mean,
huge.
flying down to Tampa.
Well, that was nice.
I was gonna say,
They
it's
could've did
sunshine.
a phone consult, but my insurance wouldn't pay for it. So it was $750 or fly my mom and I down for $700. So like, we'll go to Florida.
Yeah, and sit on the beach. Well,
Yeah. So we had a great long weekend
Good.
and got to go twice. So yeah,
Wonderful.
It was good. Yeah. We're having a raffle.
yes. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So what we did is we have Tackle Box is a big supporter, and they gave us a $25 gift card and a T-shirt, a River Hippie, and we've got some swag in there. Got some decals and our koozies.
Nice.
And Advance Auto has been a supporter from the very beginning, so they gave us a wash bucket
Very cool.
of stuff and made a hat, and so we'll raffle off.
That you just made this morning.
Yes.
The hat.
Yeah. And we got a couple cases of Victory Fuel to go with it. too.
Awesome. Very cool.
It is. I enjoy seeing them learn and succeed and just keep growing with it.
Yes.
So that's the big thing.
So what are the future plans for Conley
So-
Racing?
Future plans, hopefully, I think for the next 3 years, because Dylan can be in the junior until he's 13.
Mm-hmm.
And his race age is 8. So we've got quite a few years for that. Riley's class actually goes up to 16. So ideally, kind of kicking around the idea that we'll keep them both in these cars for the next 3 years. And then there's been some talk of D2 midgets with that series that goes around. When Riley's 14, he can get a job and help start funding some of this.
Yes.
And then his ultimate goal from the very get-go has been to race non-wing. So we'll see how that goes. And I don't know. So it's just kind of, as long as they have the motivation and the drive and they continue to learn and put the work in, we'll do our best to support them.
Then you'll also have the drive to do what they want.
Yes, yeah. So, but like I said, I mean, we had dreams and ambitions that didn't involve 4 wheels and a sailboat, but this is where we're at now. So as long as they keep going, and we'll do our best to keep them in that spot, and just the people skills and that kind of stuff. I mean, it'll really teach them. All these skills are life skills. They know how to change the oil not only in their race cars, but they know how to check. I don't do any, obviously I wouldn't typically do it, but I'd pay to have it done. But like Riley can change oil on my car.
Nice.
Like they make sure my tires are good. They do all that kind of stuff. So I mean, those type of life skills.
You take care of them, they take care of you.
Yes, yes. So that's the way I look at it.
Good.
And then like events like this, I really push this for them to be able to speak to not only kids their age, but adults, and answer the hard questions. And if they don't know, then ask, and they'll know the next time.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking, he doesn't even. So, when he gets his race suit on, you won't even know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. What I love about it is we do it as a family. I mean, that's the biggest thing is, I mean, we're out at the shop as a family working on them, and at the track we're, as a family. When Dylan wrecked out that Friday night, Dad wanted to go home, and we had a family team meeting and decided, nope, we're going to go right, and we're going to head to the next track. And luckily the damage wasn't as bad as what we had initially thought. We had some friends that had spare shocks, so they loaned us those, and we were able to get Dylan back out of the track. And it's got to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
So we got him, and he was timid at first, but this is a great thing. This is my mom. You got to shoot from the hip, and I think we all know that, but he was timid and he was scared. So I think he started like 5th in his heat race and fell back to last, and just didn't want to hit anybody because he hit the car pretty hard Friday night. And he said all he kept seeing was that car. So I'm just like, how do I get him past this?
Right.
So I'm like, get that memory in your head. He got the memory in his head. I'm like, you see that car? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, now pull that memory out your ear. And we pulled it out of his ear. We wadded it up and threw it in the trash.
That's awesome.
And it worked.
And it worked?
It worked.
That's amazing.
I cannot believe it worked. But I told his dad, I'm like, you're not going to believe what I told him. And it worked. So, but I think that's just life skills. Like,
that is so cool.
But it worked. So. Yeah.
I'm a skills too, though. For real, yes.
And with 2 cars, so it's when Riley was in the junior, Dylan was in a go-kart. So we were able just to focus on one. Now we have 2, and they'll race at times back to back. So there's times that, like, if we need a gear change on Dylan's car, I'm down there wrenching, making a gear change on it. And I had a guy come up and say something to Eric. He's like, man, I got to tell you, in 35 years of racing, I have never seen a woman get down and mess with the chain and change the gear. And so Eric's like, don't tell her that. But a little later, I got a tip of the hat from the guy.
Yeah.
He wanted to see my hands, and they were all dirty, greasy, and I'm like, my nail girl hates me during race season. So this is a Yamaha R6 600cc. So this is a crash rocket motor.
Nice.
So it's stock, and then they do, I think they change the oil pan, and then it is and he goes about like 60 plus miles an hour. This one is a breakthrough strat World Formula motor, and they both run on that one is motors that we actually build in all that. Eric does all of our clutches, so we learned how to do all of the all the dyno work and
Mhm.
everything on that. So that's been fun learning how to do that. That one is about 18 to 20 horse, and then this is now 80. So Riley went. There's a big jump because there's nothing in between.
Right.
So
Wow, that's a big jump.
it is. It is a big jump. They did great.
They did good. He kept his distance.
He did. He kept his distance. They followed directions. The receivers weren't working, so they did it all on their own without being directed.
And they did great.
Yeah.
Good for
So
them.
very happy.
Well, thank you so much for interviewing today for Four Wide and
So
Wide.
much for having a little insight on our family.
Oh, it was my pleasure. It was a great honor to get to know you.
I appreciate it so much. So can't wait to take you racing with us.
I can't wait either.
It'll be great. All right,
Awesome.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.